Hey YouTube, Elite Legionarii here, and today I'm bringing you a 5-player free-for-all, I think it was. Yep, this is a 5-player free-for-all on the Thracian Foothills map. A lot of people complain about this map. I rather like it though. Some interesting sort of terrain situations going on. As you can see, I'm playing as the Greek city-states, and the other armies out there are the Carthaginians, commanded by Dehomag, who I will play several games against, which I'll have upload for you guys. There's Poisoned Arrows and commanded the Julli. Over here there is Constantine. He popped up in one of my other videos. He's playing as Spqr. And over here is the Tusks, who's in command of Germania. So a 5-player free-for-all, there's always going to be someone who's sort of left out. In this case it's going to be Constantine because he's so far away. But my army consists of 4 Spartans, 2 of which are gold and 2 of which are silver gold. I also have 4 gold armoured hoplites and 4 gold attack regular archers, and I have a general's armoured bodyguard which I was going to use to pick off any archers or anything. Well, that was the initial plan. So I'm going to move up to this little hill here, and my formation is I'll put my Spartans in the front, and I'm going to use my armoured hoplites to shield the backs. I want to have the best infantry available for the front lines, that's why the Spartans in there, and I've put my archers intertwined inside of them so they're safe. I can't protect them if I leave them out because I've got no cavalry, and I bet like a lot of people say this, Globulus has been talking about this too. He's another fellow commentator, he's a good commentator, and the concept with the Greeks is to keep them tightly packed, and both myself and him have stressed that in our videos when we've talked about them. So you should check him out, guys, if you're not familiar with him, because he is a good commentator and probably a better player than me. So so in order to protect my archers, I've put them inside all my phalanxes. And Dehomag's going to obviously have a supremacy in cavalry, but my strategy is going to work well because he's got no missile units, so I can easily turn my armoured hoplites round without the fear of them getting shot in the back. So this is a good strategy to face a rush army as the Greek city-states. But the only risk that I have at the moment would be that if he gets in and routs my archers, it might cause a panic. It's unlikely because Greek troops have got good morale, but it's not impossible, so you've got to be careful of that. So he's going to come with his cavalry, but I'm going to use my armoured hoplites to deter him. And Sacred Band are a very good match for Spartans, the next best hoplite unit after the Spartans, but I'm confident my Spartans can hold out with their 2 extra hit points. And I take them off guard mode too, which more means they'll fight a bit harder. The mistake, in my opinion, that Dehomag makes here is not using all his sacred bands against my Spartans. He probably should have done that, but he is going to get the side here. But as you can see, my Spartans are cleaning house pretty quickly, probably because they're off guard mode. I'm not sure if his were or not. But here he comes in. I make a bit of a squander here. I forget to put my men into phalanx formation, but I quickly get him in, and he's not going to have much luck with his cavalry at all getting in there. But some of my archers will rout because they're flighty like that, but his cavalry come in big numbers, and it does do a bit of an initial sort of disruption on me, but he can't actually get in, and he has to get in to stop these Spartans from beating his Sacred Band. This is where some Balearic slingers would have been very handy, but I was fortunate that I was up against Carthage because it allows me to work the strategy best. And here I'm using my own unit of cavalry to try some hammer and anvils, but I was pretty unsuccessful there. But they distracted some of his cavalry, so that's fine. It allows me to reorganise my line here, which got a bit messed. But he cannot get his cavalry in, and he has to get them in, otherwise the Sacred Band will die. So as you can see, they're starting to rout now. This unit over here sort of outpositioned me a bit, and he's going to hit the sides of my men here. So he does pretty good considering how difficult it is to work his cav. But basically, when you play as the Greeks, stay tightly packed together and deny the cavalry any chance, and you can win, provided they don't have a missile superiority. But he's just not getting in here, as you can see. his cavalry, there's just nothing he can do to get them in very well. I'm well suited to handling him here, and his Sacred Band front line has mostly collapsed. So this cavalry, it's Sacred Band cavalry's good, but there's just no way in. So this is probably one of the best ways to play as the Greeks, in my opinion. The Greeks are an extremely defensive based faction. He's done pretty well for the most part, but he just can't get in, and this time I managed to hold him down, and his Sacred Band hoplites are gone. So my armoured hoplites did their job. A few of my archers survived. Here this guy comes out for a bit of a run. I'll spot that in a minute and I'll retreat him back. This is a scored resolution game, by the way, so yeah, I prefer scored res. I don't think I was the host though. Dehomag was the host, yeah. So if we check out some of the other battles, the Roman army, or Julli army, defeated this German one, although it didn't do it without some casualties. But as you can see, it's just the tradition. It was the traditionalist build, urban cohort and whatnot. Constantine's army is pretty much the same. I fought this guy several times, and he used this exact build over and over. 5 urbans, gold, 2 triarii, gold, some Roman archers, about 5 of them, and some Praetorian cavalry. So pretty much the same old Roman army. You get used to playing online. A bit boring, but very common. So yeah, as you can see, I've more or less defeated my Carthaginian opponent. My archers decided, I had them targeting these cavalry, but I don't want them going away from the support of my hoplites, so I can't protect them. Again, basically the mistake people make with the Greeks is, and I'm by no means an expert of the Greeks at all, they are a faction I find quite tough because of their lack of cavalry, but basically the mistake people make dividing their forces so that they chase cavalry with their hoplites. It's a waste of time. Just stay packed together like I did here and denies cavalry entrance to your flanks. The only danger is that your flanks can be exposed to archer fire, so if you make sure you have plenty of your own archers. The Greeks have access to Cretan archers, which are fantastic. So as you can see, most of my army survived that tussle, and most of that dead there is his. There's a few of my archers dead. Most of my bodies are my archers. There's a few of my armoured hoplites, but as you can see, they're mostly intact, as are my Spartans. So my cav died. I tried a hammer and anvil there. They died, but they did distract a lot of his cavalry for a while. So Constantine's going to come in now, and he's full because he's had no one to fight, so it's unlikely we'll win that. This is the thing about uneven numbered free-for-alls, like say 3, 5, 7 players. There's always someone who doesn't have an opponent, so unless someone decisively defeats another player, they're going to have an edge pretty quickly. So I'm still pretty well set to fight here. I am depleted though, and that strategy I used wouldn't work as well against this Roman because of all these archers. I'm trying to make a deal with Dehomag, who is the Carthaginian. Even though I defeated him for the most part, or destroyed his army, I said to him, I'll engage the urbans in this Spqr player in the front, and if he uses his cav, we can work together to win there. So that was our plan, but it didn't quite go. You'll see, it doesn't quite go the way we want. And then I was confident that I'd be able to beat the Julli poisoned arrow player because he looks pretty depleted. So I mean, I was still kind of confident I might be able to win if I just get enough kills in, because it's a scored res, and as you can see I have quite a lot of my men left. I like the Greek city-states, they're cool, but their lack of cavalry makes it quite challenging. I am a lot better with infantry, admittedly. I make quite a lot of cav mistakes and I battle at times. My micro skills still really need quite a lot of work. Been playing a few games of late and I've not been playing very well. But as I said, I'm more of a more of an infantry person. I like cavalry, but I always seem to muck up somewhere with them, and that's usually my problem. But that's where the Greeks are cool. Very good infantry, but I don't like to have an army that really doesn't consist of cavalry. But the Greeks are kind of a bit forced to have to do that. Because I find it's quite hard to make use of their cavalry. As I said, you can do it if you're quick for micro and can move the cav around a lot and stuff like that, but I'm not very good at that. So I'm not very great at it. So I usually just go with these infantry heavy armies. So here I'm going to come in and fight his urban cohort head on. Spartans are capable. I'm going to rush because I don't want to get a whole lot of peeler in my face, but I am still going to receive some, but not nearly as bad as what you'd think. And I'm going to try and power on this side, and I had at this point thought Dehomag would come in and smack the back here, because as you can see my Spartans are actually at least even with these urbans, which is a pretty cool thing, but I'm pretty outnumbered here. My archers I knew would die, but I'm hoping they can just stall these cavalry from hitting me in the back, but I'm going to send a unit of armoured hoplites to intercept them. But there's a unit of urban cohort here to intercept them, so I have less numbers, and my men are a wee bit tired from battle, but I'd hoped Dehomag would come in here, but he doesn't. He's because of these cavalry that are Constantine's adding. He's kind of denying him, and I really need his help. We need to work together here. But I'm impressed though with my infantry holding out like this. They do a good amount of damage to the Spqr Roman. As you can see, there's quite a lot of dead Roman troops here. Even though they're horribly sort of outnumbered. Well, not horribly, but they're outnumbered. And unfortunately, Taurian Cav are a lot better than Sacrobrian Cav, and Dehomag gets defeated. So if he had made a bit of a rush here, he might have been able to knock this part out, but he wasn't confident he could do it, and I can understand that. You've got to be certain when you're doing these things. But as you can see, my Spartans have actually won this part of the front, and I'm coming in here with my remaining troops, and here I'm going to try and turn to face these Praetorians, but my men rout, and I'm about to get defeated, but I'm pretty happy that my men did the amount of damage they did. Spartans are certainly a very good heavy infantry unit. Only restrictions really that they're not as flexible as urbans. Otherwise, I'd consider them as good as urbans, but because they're not as flexible as them, I just don't consider them as quite as good. A lot of people disagree, but that's just my opinion. So I think I did a pretty decent sort of job though. If you see, there's quite a considerable number of dead Romans there, but there's also quite a lot of Greeks here. So I'm not unsatisfied though. I mean, I took out all this, say, Carthaginians as well, well, most of the infantry, but yeah. So I mean, these Triarii survived, but the rest of his infantry is quite depleted. But anyway, it's going to come down to him and Poisoned Arrow. Now, by this point, I think his battle with me and Dehomag has severely weakened Constantine, so Poisoned Arrow has a good chance to win here, considering all these urbans. He's got more urbans, you see, but his cav's probably more depleted, and this guy's got the archer advantage, so he has the advantage still. But anyway, I'm just going to triple speed it along here, guys, because they probably just sit around and reform a bit. But I think Poisoned Arrow had the chance to win this. So they're pretty evenly balanced. Poisoned Arrow's probably got more infantry. This guy's got all the archers, obviously, and he's got a wee bit more cavalry. But all in all, they're pretty even. So yeah, and I'm just talking about this map, Thracian Foothills. I can understand why people dislike it. It's like there's some hills, there's some flatlands, a bit of forest tossed in here and there. I don't understand why people dislike it, eh? People whine about hills and stuff, and I mean, there would have been obviously a big part of battlefield. You're not always going to get a nice flat battlefield. In real life, they certainly wouldn't have had that. I don't understand why people complain about it all the time. I mean, if you want a real even-based fight, the grassy flatlands or the Syrian flats are great. But it's just, I find it boring fighting on the same maps all the time. I don't know about you guys, but I just do. I like to vary it up a lot more. Test your skills if you can, like, you know, going uphill and using forests for traps and bonuses and all that kind of thing. It just adds new dynamics, in my opinion. So he's going to flame these urbans. He's getting a bit clumped here. I wouldn't advise that. These Praetorians are getting shot, and he just received like 100 arrows to one unit, and it didn't even kill one. It's a bit ridiculous, eh? He was very careless with his cavalry, I think. He could have used them to stall these other cavalry, and then his infantry probably could have won this. But he's going to get hammered and ambled here, and he'll lose. But I still think it would have been... He had the weaker position, I think, or the weaker sort of setup. Poisoned Arrow, who was the Julii, but he could have won. It would be possible. But again, it just depends on who's more experienced, but sometimes a bit of luck and just whatever. A variety of things, I guess, can influence a game and its outcome. So as you can see, Constantine's going to be the last man standing, but it's a matter of who's got the most kills, and I don't think he'll have enough. He got most of my guys, or a good number of my guys, but he didn't pick off full armies, you see. The Julii player did destroy that German completely, who all the German bodies are somewhere over this way. There they go. As you can see, there's a few dead Julii things in there, but not many. A lot of cavalry. He lost him a lot of cav here, but he defeated them. I defeated the Carthaginian more or less. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So we'll just triple speed her again, guys, to the end. This is just mopping up here, and that's boring. Even when players admit defeat, it still makes you chase them around, and I find that kind of annoying as well, but that's just a game thing. So, let's just see. So, I hope you guys are enjoying my channel, and unfortunately I didn't realise the host must have terminated, or when he left. I don't like that. That really annoys, because you can't see the end result. But if I remember, I think I got second. I think I got third actually. Second or third, I can't remember. And I think Constantine did win, but I can't remember, guys. But I hope you saw some good Greek use of the Greeks there. I hope it was, you know, what you'd consider good. It can be successful, can be kind of hard, and it depends on the army build you're up against, obviously. But I'm pretty sure Constantine won, but I got second or third. I think I got second, and then the Julii got third, and then Carthage got fourth, and then Germania got fifth. I think that was the order. It might have been the other way around, with me being second or third, and the Julii, you know, tossed between us two. So sorry about that. I didn't actually realise that the replay, the stats, you know, weren't there. I forgot. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Sorry about that with the replay, and I'll see you guys next time.